Conservative New Media viewers, what's going on? It's me, John D. Villarreal, the four-time national champion. I'm talking about HBO 24/7, Bradley versus Marquez, Episode 1. I just checked it out on HBO. Very, very interesting. Very interesting. This fight is coming up soon. First of all, my personal opinion only, not alleged facts, not cast any aspersion, all for entertainment purposes only. Please check the disclaimers. Here's the deal. They reviewed, in this episode, they reviewed a lot of the recent fights. Obviously, that unbelievable, just super classic, in my personal opinion, fight versus, Pacquiao versus Marquez. That ended with that incredible knockout shot, dude, okay, of Pacquiao. That counter shot as Pacquiao was coming in. And I remember that fight, and it was just unbelievable, dude. They also showed Timothy Bradley. They showed him against Pacquiao. They also showed him against Povetkin, okay? Or Provodnikov, sorry. And the knockdowns and the damage that Bradley took. And there's a lot of questions now. They were showing the training. They were showing the different camps. They showed, Juan Manuel Marquez with his yellow Hummer. They showed him in there, training and doing his thing. They showed him working, the sit-ups, the crunches and stuff like that. And they showed Bradley working the bag. And Bradley was talking, and Marquez was talking about his confidence, stuff like that. Marquez even said that, Bradley can come train with him and see if he can take it. But they also talked about, a lot of things. And Marquez was talking about how he set Pacquiao up. And this is the thing for this fight. First of all, I like this 24/7. I'm starting to see the things. Now, here's the thing. Bradley, it seems to me, in my personal opinion, maybe can get sucked into a war. Maybe can, feel like he has something to prove. Okay? And is that going to happen again in this fight? Is Bradley going to feel the pressure? Is the grand boxing chess master Juan Manuel Marquez going to checkmate him? Going to put him in a position that he doesn't want to be in? In other words, is he going to use that kind of boxing knowledge, that experience, or the mental game to get Bradley to fight JMM's fight? Okay? That's what I want to know right there. That's number one. Number two, at a certain point, time catches up with everyone. How much does Marquez have left? But, let's listen. And that, fight against Pacquiao, Marquez looked great. He looked bigger. He looked stronger. He had power, obviously, knocking Pacquiao out. Still had his timing and stuff like that. See, here's what I'm thinking right now. Bradley, we've seen that he's able to get stung and hurt pretty bad, okay? And, he's got some good defense, but I don't think he's got the greatest defense. In other words, he does do some ducking and some body movement, head movement, stuff like that, but at the same time, a lot of times he's there to be hit too. And when you're dealing with Juan Manuel Marquez, you're talking about a boxing tactician, okay? Someone that can just counter-snipe you, dude. And that absolutely, in my opinion, could show up in this fight. And you see, it's one thing to fight Pacquiao, who's tremendous. But Pacquiao has a lot of speed, stuff like that. I'm not saying that Pacquiao's not technically, obviously, listen, Pacquiao, amazing fighter, stuff like that. But in my opinion, Pacquiao had more, was more reliant on the speed and the power and his movement in and out, stuff like that, okay? Could really cover a lot of distance. Whereas Juan Manuel Marquez is, in my opinion, more pinpoint, okay? Very accurate. And has that counter strike, stuff like that. So in other words, if Bradley gets sucked into a war, how is Bradley going to deal with the power of Marquez, along with that kind of accuracy, along with that kind of counter strike ability? Okay, that's what I want to know right there, because someone like Marquez might just take Bradley apart, dude. The people that in my opinion, Marquez had trouble with, or people with extraordinary speed, okay? sort of like just off the charts kind of situation, whether it be a Mayweather, along with the super defense and the skill and stuff like that, or Pacquiao. And the Pacquiao fights, I've discussed those before in other videos. I felt like, in my personal opinion, that I think that Marquez, won the majority of those. Certainly left no doubt in the last fight. But I don't feel like Bradley has that level of speed to give Marquez those kinds of problems. But we're seeing how this thing sets up right here. I mean, is Bradley just doing the training that it needs to be doing? I mean, listen, Bradley's the kind of guy that just gets in there and wins fights. And we're seeing the mentality here in 24/7. I'm starting to get fired up on this fight, dude. I can't wait to see what happens. Is Bradley going to make a serious statement here? Or is Marquez going to cement the legacy even further, dude? I mean, dude, now that you think about it, this is intense, dude. I mean, think about this. Think about this right here. On the one hand, the pressure of Juan Manuel Marquez. Bradley even said it, that if he was JMM, he would have retired. With the Blake face and the victory and everything like that, you retire on top of everything like that. What happens if Juan Manuel Marquez loses to Timothy Bradley? Is that just going to be a facial, dude? Is that going to take some kind of luster off? I don't think so of his career. But some fans out there are fickle, stuff like that. I'm just saying, is that the way that let me put it another way. Is that the way that JMM wants to go out, dude? If he loses to Timothy Bradley, okay? That's one thing right there. So how much pressure is on Juan Manuel Marquez after he won that fight against Pacquiao in such definitive fashion? On the other hand, think about this. If he beats Timothy Bradley, the dude that at least officially, I didn't agree with it, but the decision, in my personal opinion, at least officially beat Pacquiao. Okay? What does that say? Not only did he knock out JMM, Pacquiao, but he also beat someone else that beat Pacquiao. Okay? So does that just cement his legend even further? I don't see how it can't. Another win against someone that's up there, someone that's at that level, that's another statement. He's taken someone else out of the equation in terms of that super upper echelon consideration, at least temporarily. You see what I'm saying? And what kind of situation does that set up? In other words, another fight with Pacquiao, possibly another fight with Mayweather. I mean, what's next for JMM after that? Would he even think about, could we set up something with GGG? I mean, or is that just, I mean, that's what I'm talking about right there. There's all kinds of interesting little different scenarios then that JMM could look to. But I mean, this is what I'm saying. It's so intriguing because there's so much possibilities, and there's so many. And on the other hand, if Bradley gets just taken out by Juan Manuel Marquez, who wants to see Bradley fight at that level? In other words, what does that do to Bradley's marketability? There's a lot. Here's what I'm saying to you, in my opinion. There's a lot on the line for both fighters. There's big reward, there's big risk, and that's what makes it exciting. Is this the statement? Is this the kind of win that gets Bradley right back into the mix, right back into top contention, able to make big money fights? And could it be exciting? Or is this Juan Manuel Marquez finally established himself as that super draw that a Mayweather or Pacquiao is? And what does that do? Does he then get on that level, that kind of level of super fighters? I believe that he's there already, okay? I'm a JMM fan. But you see what I'm saying? That this can really position a lot of different things. And including rematches with both Pacquiao and or Mayweather. Or maybe we look to, a GGG or something of that nature, okay? There's a lot of interesting things that set up from here. What do you think about that? I want to hear from you. Or even like what about a Sergio Ortiz? You tell me where you're at on that. I want to hear from you right now. Give me the comments below. Please subscribe. Please rate this video up. Also, please post on your social networking sites. Thanks so much for watching. I'm John D. Villarreal, the 4-time national champion. You're watching Conservative Media. I will see you next time.